Hey, what's up, Street Gods? There, Kim from the Eric and True Photography blog. So I just want to give you a quick flip through of film notes, one of our most beloved products. Shout out to Cindy for making and printing it. So essentially the basic idea behind film notes was we wanted to make a manual and a personal diary and guide for you to shoot more film. And we try to keep it simple and we try to keep it pragmatic because a lot of photography we often overcomplicate it. So treat street notes as your own personal guide to learn how to shoot more film when it comes to street photography in general. You can see here on the right side that there's reflection questions, and the great thing about having one of these is that it's super small and light, fits in your back pocket, and there's practical tips, guides, and I think it's one of the most innovative products we've ever made because we spend so much time with the UI and the design for you to keep track of all your film notes. That's why we called it film notes. And it's about the same size as field notes, which I got a lot of inspiration from. So even simple things, which I really love about it, is you're able to test your exposure, and we have different tips for you guys to keep track of everything. Simple things like, what film and ISO did you use? What camera and lens did you use? What day did you start the roll of film? And where and when did you get it processed? And part of it is also philosophical too, like figure out what do you want to photograph. So for example, this is a photograph I shot of my mom. I shot on a Film Rico GR1V camera, 28mm lens, and shot it with Neopan 400 push to 1600, and I photographed it during my grandfather's funeral. And other things that are super useful, which I find, I actually designed this from scratch in Photoshop. This zone focusing guide, super important. Also something that I like to use a lot in street photography. And also things like practicing your street photography focusing, because that's one of the most difficult things to nail when you're shooting in the streets. Also things we talk about in film notes, how to push film to add more contrast to increase your shutter speed. And once again, tons of notes. And you can see here in terms of the UI, you could see if you've pushed or pulled your film, which is obviously super useful. And also talking about developing and scanning, because in today's digital world, it ain't about just shooting film and letting it stay as film. You generally want to share it online. Talking about archiving and storage, figuring out what are some of the organizational ideas you could have to organize your photos by. And also, this is the thing that I really like, is film assignments. So for example, shooting one roll of film only in your house, shooting one roll all photos with the flash, shooting one roll of film a day, and so forth. We also talk a little bit about medium format film, which I've kind of played around with, which is also good fun. And there's room here for you to have notes as well. And you can see it's just jam-packed. It's probably the coolest product. And we also made it this awesome electric red, so it just really stands out. So if you want to post a gram photo with your film camera and the film notes, that'd be really cool. And also talking about beauty and perfection, because why shoot film in today's digital age where all the cameras are perfect? Essentially the biggest reason is that with film you embrace the beauty in the imperfect and you realize that imperfection is beautiful. So some quick tips. With film, better to overexpose than underexpose. When shooting indoors, shoot wide open. Shoot a scene 25% more than you think you should. Take steps closer, look for gestures, work the scene. And here are some sample street settings on the right side. And boom. So you can see all within film notes. Super small, fits in your hand. We made a hand manual and looks super awesome. And realize that every single order you do from film notes, either through Amazon or the Haptic Shop, supports us. And the cool thing is it's printed here in California. Thank you, Cindy, and thank you for everyone who supported us. So when in doubt, shoot more film, and it's always better to eat eggs and drink coffee and spend more money on film. Peace out.